Alright, so I'm gonna just add this at the beginning of the video because they literally just announced it a couple of minutes ago, and it's like the PlayStation is holding a state of play, which is something that I really wasn't expecting. I thought whatever it is that they were going to announce, they were going to save it for Summer Game Fest. So, you know, I totally wasn't expecting that, but whatever it is that I said about what they could potentially show off and what I would like to see, I am just gonna go ahead and add that on top of the state of play that's gonna be happening tomorrow, and then I'm gonna be watching the Summer Game Fest when that comes around, and I think on Friday. So hopefully they show off something cool. Enjoy the rest of the video. So I'm not really sure if anything's going to come around in the next couple of days in regards to like YouTube drama. There's not really anything that really seems to catch my eye that I really want to talk about when it comes to like YouTuber drama or anything else, because I just don't really care for a lot of the things that have been happening over the past couple of days, because it's mostly having to do with political streamers, and I feel like I've already said my piece and I don't really want to talk about that frequently anymore. I'm not like other slop related channels. I mean, I make slop content, but I don't really like making the same repetitive talking topic all the time unless like something major happens in regards to a specific person in the community, within the streamer online community, and it's just not really something I want to do. So today what I'm going to do is that I'm going to indulge into something that I'm super passionate about, and that's in regards to video games. Video games has always been my passion. It's always been something that I've really been interested to talk about. It's what I always talk about when it comes to myself and my friends, and today we're going to be talking about the future event that's coming around the corner on Friday, which is Summer Games Fest, and there's a whole bunch of developers and people going over there to show off whatever games it is that are working on, and there are some stuff that I'm super down for when it comes to certain developers that are going to be showing up there. There's a bunch of developers that I don't really know too well, but hopefully they show off something that actually piques my interest, because recently, like earlier this year, we saw Expedition 33, which seemingly came out of nowhere and blew up, and everyone was playing it. Like literally everyone was playing it. And it was from a relatively unknown development team that only around like 30 or so people, with some of them being freelance and some of them being people from the internet of all places, like Reddit. Only time will tell to see what ends up being released. But today we're going to be talking about a couple of developers that have caught my eye in terms of what I think that they could potentially be showing off, such as Bandai Namco, Capcom, CDPR, PlayStation, Square Enix, Xbox, Switch 2 related stuff, NeoWiz, who are the developers behind Lies of P, IO Interactive, I believe I already said Capcom, a couple other developers, but there's mainly a couple of developers that I really want to focus on the most, and the things that I really want to see from them specifically. And today we're going to be talking about the first thing in the first development team that I really want to see things from, and that's in regards to Square Enix. Now, if you know me, and obviously some of my friends are probably watching this video, so you know me pretty well at this point about what I really want to see from this developer specifically, and that's in regards to Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3, and Rebirth was one of my favorite games of all time that came out in 2024, I believe that's when it came out. Jeez, it already feels like it's been so long ago. I loved Rebirth. That game really made me appreciate the entire remake series and remake saga as a whole, because when I first played Remake back in 2019, 2020, somewhere around then, I forget what year that game came out. God damn, I think it was 2019. I remember feeling a little iffy about the franchise and what they were trying to do with the remake trilogy. Even though I knew that it looked amazing and I still loved the story and loved the characters, I just wasn't sure what they were going to do moving forward. Rebirth came out and it gave me a really strong sense that these developers know what they're doing. Square Enix knows what they're trying to do, what story they're trying to tell, and what they're trying to do with the gameplay. And god damn it, I just really want to see what they're doing with Part 3. If there's any potential chance that they could show it off as early as possible, I think they're going to be able to show it off here at Summer Games Fest. And they have a super close relationship with Jeff Keighley. Jeff Keighley has always been known for being the guy that really shows off anything Final Fantasy VII Remake related. So if there's a chance that they show off anything, and if they're going to do it any time as soon as possible, it would be at an event that Jeff Keighley is going to be hosting. So hopefully they shot off there. The next game that I really want to talk about, Kingdom Hearts. This is just a very personal thing. Kingdom Hearts as a franchise has been a game that has been near and dear close to my heart for as long as I can remember, since I was a little kid. When Sora got announced for Smash Brothers, I was literally on the floor just sobbing, literally sobbing, because I couldn't believe that he was actually added to Smash Brothers. And Kingdom Hearts 4 got announced in, God, what was it, 2022, 2023? And it's been a long time since we had gotten any news, and then recently we got screenshots of potential gameplay of what it is that they're working on, and then a voice actor like confirmed that he was doing work with that game, and then he deleted his tweet. There's a lot that's going on with Kingdom Hearts 4. If we're gonna get anything, I don't know, I just want to hope like I'm sucking on the hopium and the copium right now, and just hoping that Square Enix has something in relation to Kingdom Hearts at this event. I think it would be amazing. If they don't, I'll be really sad. Jeff, if you're fucking watching this, you son of a bitch, please give us a trailer or something. Just please. I'm sorry. Like throughout all the years that Jeff Keighley has trolled Kingdom Hearts fans, like all the anger that people have felt about it will all be taken back if you just show off a trailer or just give us some sort of information or anything. It doesn't matter. Just something to latch on to for a while before we have to go back into our hyperbolic time chambers and then wait like 500 years before we get another piece of information about Kingdom Hearts 4. Just something. I don't know. And then I saw a lot over the past couple of days, actually a few weeks, of people asking for Final Fantasy 9, and there's a bunch of other Final Fantasy games that have been already re-released, like 1 through 6, I believe. You can play through 7, you can play through 8 because they re-released that as well with like a remaster. But people are waiting for Final Fantasy 9, and I think if Square, if they want to make people happy, they would re-release Final Fantasy 9, either that or they remake it. NeoWiz is showing up, and I mentioned earlier that they are the developers for Lies of P. Lies of P was one of my favorite games the year it came out. I think it was 2021, I think it was. Lies of P was an awesome game. I just remember loving the aesthetic and the art style, and the gameplay was super cool. It was super tight because it was super parry focused, and I really like Sekiro a lot, which is the first Soulsborne game that I actually ever played from Software. And when playing Lies of P, I just thought it was super cool with the art style and the aesthetic and the music and the boss design. It was fantastic. And they're working on a DLC, and we had gotten some gameplay from some people who were actually able to get some hands-on like game play, I guess is the word I'm looking for. They actually were able to actually play the DLC, get some footage of that, and show off some early stuff. So I think NeoWiz is going to show off another trailer, maybe some more gameplay with some of the weapons that they're adding on into the game with the DLC, or maybe they have something else that they're working on. Whatever it is, I'm super down and super interested to see what they have in store for whatever future thing that they're working on. Xbox, whatever Xbox has that they want to show off, I'm super down for that. They don't really do exclusivity anymore, so whatever it is that they're working on, it's probably going to come to all titles, including Game Pass and Steam and PlayStation and etc. etc. 2K probably has a bunch of things that they want to show off as well that could be seemingly pretty interesting, but who knows what they have to show off. Capcom, there's a myriad of things that they could show off, and just like with Xbox, there's not really like one thing I'm looking for specifically from Capcom, unless it's Devil May Cry, but who knows if that's actually even likely. If there's anything that they're going to show off in relation to Devil May Cry, I think if there's going to be anything with DMC, it's going to be Hideki Kamiya, who's also the main developer lead of Okami, and has worked on DMC before in the past. He's worked on Bayonetta games. He's worked on a myriad of Capcom titles before in the past. I think if there's going to be anything in relation to DMC, I think they're going to remake DMC 1, which would be really cool. Same thing with Bandai Namco. Whatever they have that they want to show off, if it's something Arc System Works related, I think that would be super cool. Is that likely? Probably not. Back to Capcom for a second before we continue. I think it's basically guaranteed that they're going to show off the next season for Street Fighter 6, and whatever it is that they have to show off there, whatever characters that they want to add from, previous Street Fighter games, or maybe they want to do another crossover collaboration with another fighting game series like they did with SNK's Fatal Fury. Whatever it is that they want to do, whatever it is they want to have in store for us for the next season for Street Fighter 6, I'm super interested. CD Projekt Red, whatever it is that they have in store, it's probably in relation towards Cyberpunk 2077 coming to the Switch 2, which is also showing up at Summer Games Fest. IO Interactive, they're working on a 007 game, and they announced it a few years ago, but I don't think we've had that much information come out in regards to that game that much. But I'm super down for that because these are the same devs who worked on the Hitman trilogy, and Hitman is a super cool franchise that allows you to be able to walk around these very interactive, like super well designed levels where you're able to take down the target, whatever target it is that you're going after, in however way that you want, with varying levels of difficulty, with varying layers of like personality. There's personality in all the NPCs that you're interacting with. You can put on disguises, whatever it is that they have in store for this 007 game. I'm super down for whatever it is that they're working on. And I think the last two things I want to mention, and the last two developers, Sega, obviously they're working on Virtua Fighter with Virtua Fighter 6, and whatever it is that they have in store for that, because it's been a long time since we've had a new Virtua Fighter. The last one was Virtua Fighter 5 in I think the early 2000s. It's been a very long time. Yeah, just whatever it is that they have in store with Virtua Fighter 6, hopefully some new gameplay. That'll be really cool. PlayStation though, if they're gonna show off anything, I feel like one of the big things that I would be really interested in seeing is Ghost of Yotei. because Ghost of Tsushima was like my game of the year in 2020 when that game came out, which is kind of ironic because I'm also going to mention Naughty Dog because they also released The Last of Us Part 2, and I didn't really like that game all that much. But Ghost of Tsushima was one of my favorite games of that year, and it was one of my favorite PlayStation titles like ever. They made a lot of really insanely good titles, and Ghost of Tsushima, which is made by Sucker Punch, renowned for Sly Cooper, I just really like their games. I really like Sucker Punch. I really like Infamous. I really like Sly Cooper. I think it would be amazing. Before we sidetrack, Ghost of Yotei. If they're gonna show off anything, it has already been a month since they have shown off a trailer for Ghost of Yotei. I think it would be really cool for them to show off gameplay because we haven't really gotten any official gameplay. We've gotten like snippets of like cutscenes, but that's about it. That's about all we've gotten from this game. I think it would be really cool to actually see some gameplay. It looks like from previous trailers, mainly like the launch trailer that they had from like last year, they show off the fact that Atsu, I think her name is, has the ability to be able to use different types of weapons. So I think it would be really interesting to see what other different types of weapons that she has in store. I think it would be really cool to see those, see what she's like, see her gameplay style, how she differs from Jin from the first game. I think it would be really sick. Back to what I was talking about before though. I have mentioned countless times before in the past that they have so many titles and so many classic games that they have in their catalog that they could easily bring back for like a remake / remaster. And I'm going to make a huge big brain theory, but the first couple things I want to mention is Infamous. I mentioned that. I think it would be amazing if they brought back the Infamous duology, maybe with Infamous Second Son as well. I think it would just be really cool if they brought back Infamous 1 and 2, because those games have been locked to the PlayStation 3 since those games have come out, and people haven't been able to play those ever again. Unless you have a PlayStation 3, you haven't been able to play those. But those games are amazing. They have an amazing story and amazing characters and just a super amazing and fun gameplay loop. That's fun. That's like fun. It's another PlayStation title that they could bring back that people have been asking for, and they haven't done anything with it. They could do easily the same thing with Sly Cooper. Sly Cooper, along with a couple of other characters, admittedly, have been like the defining PlayStation characters, like Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank was very popular in the PlayStation era for a very long time. I think you could bring back some of his games as well. And what I think is like the Big Bang Theory that I was mentioning before, Jak and Daxter. People have been asking for Sly Cooper and Jak and Daxter to get some sort of remaster / remake trilogy in some form or fashion. I think the Big Brain Theory, because we had gotten some information recently that Naughty Dog is working on another title that's different from Intergalactic, which is another title that they announced at the Game Awards last year, which I think it could be likely that they want to show off something about Intergalactic to this event as well. Maybe, I don't think it's as likely, but I think if they want to show off anything to make people excited, I think what they want to do, and again, this is like a huge big brain theory that might not even be possible, it's probably not even true, but I'm going to go ahead and speculate and make a theory and make a guess that Naughty Dog isn't working on an Uncharted game, which is what people have been theorizing that they're working on. I don't think they're working on another Uncharted. If it is, cool. I don't really mind that, but I don't think it is. I think what they're working on, potentially, is either a new Jak and Daxter game, or they're remaking the Jak and Daxter trilogy. I think they're gonna remake Jak and Daxter, Jak 2, and Jak 3, bundle that all together like they did with Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, and I think another one as well that I'm forgetting. They're gonna do that. They're gonna remake it. They're gonna package them all into one disc that you can play on, and then you just go, right? You're just able to play Jak 1, 2, and 3 back to back on modern hardware. I think that's what they're gonna do. Again, this is just a theory. This is just me making a huge big brain guess as to what they could potentially be working on. Like I said, if it's Uncharted, cool. I don't really care. I like Uncharted, but I don't really want to see another Uncharted game because I feel like Uncharted 4 was a very satisfying conclusion to the story and doesn't really need another game. But I think if they want to surprise people, I think they bring back Jak and Daxter, because it's something that people have been asking for, and it's something that people would be really excited to talk about, because PlayStation, like I said, hasn't done anything with some of their classic franchises like Killzone, Resistance. Do people even remember those games? Speaking of not Resistance, Killzone, I think the time frame lines up that we could potentially get an announcement for the next Horizon game, because Horizon Zero Dawn came out in 2017, and then 5 years later we got Horizon Forbidden West, and then a year after we had gotten to DLC. I think it makes sense within the time frame that they could potentially make the announcement, not maybe like another trailer, but make the announcement of the next Horizon title, and whatever they're gonna call it is whatever they're gonna call it. I think it lines up but that's just me personally. Honestly, yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's all I want to talk about. Those are the games and titles that could potentially be announced. Jack and Daxter, like I said, is like the main big brain thing that just came to my mind before I started recording. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. I just wanted to talk about something that I'm super passionate about because, like I said, I really care about video games. Video games has been my passion for an incredibly long time. It's something that I've always just have on my mind in regards to not always just always about making content. It's always been about what is the next game that's going to come out? What's the next title that's going to come out and be released that's going to shock the world, right? What's the next title that I'm going to be super anticipating and super excited for that I really, really want to play? And there's a lot that could potentially be announced in a couple of days. And hopefully it's going to be something that's going to be worthwhile and builds up a lot of hype and excitement. So yeah, that's pretty much it though. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more, please be sure to subscribe. I want to give a shout out to Renegade Enigma for being a member on the channel. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one, in whatever video I make next. It could be in a couple of days, depending on when it's happening within the whole YouTube content creator sphere. Hopefully nothing bad. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace. Also, remake Bloodborne, you fucking coward.